Welcome to yoga. Roll out your mat and silence your phones, finding a quiet space for yourself. And as you're ready, come into a comfortable seated position. You're welcome to sit on a cushion or blocks if you have them available, or you may simply sit on your mat, either in a cross-legged position with the legs extended or perhaps sitting on the heels. As you're ready, invite the eyes to close or gaze very softly down towards the ground. Coming to sit tall, grounding through the sitting bones, lengthening through the spine, extending the crown of the head towards the sky, bringing the chin parallel to the earth. Broaden through the chest and move the shoulders down and away from the ears. Allow the belly to remain soft. Direct your breathing in and out through the nose. And on each inhalation, feel the belly gently expand as you fill the lungs with air. And as you exhale, drawing the navel towards the spine and emptying the lungs completely. And continue to breathe in this way, full deep inhalations, complete exhalations. And now begin to deepen the breathing by lengthening each inhalation and each exhalation, finding a slow and comfortable pace. Encourage the mind to stay focused on the breath and the sensations in the body as you breathe. Inviting your breath to flow in a fluid and wave-like motion, breathing without force or strain. Inviting each breath to bring your awareness deeper into this moment. As you inhale, inviting in peace and relaxation. As you exhale, releasing stress and negativity. And now as we prepare to ease into movement, I invite you to be kind to your body, knowing that you are always welcome to take a rest or modify the poses in any way to best meet your needs today. And now, one at a time, extend both legs out in front of you, resting the hands by your sides. Lift the chest, relax the shoulders, and begin to flex and point the feet. And as you flex and point, feeling a stretch from the tips of the toes, moving up the legs to the hips. And now begin to circle the ankles, drawing the toes towards one another and then away. And pause now and reverse. In the opposite direction. And then give the legs a little shake from side to side, releasing any tightness that may have accumulated from sitting. And now return into a cross-legged position. Sitting tall with the hands resting by your side, shoulders drawn down, lengthen through the head and the neck. And now we'll work on warming up the head and neck. So as you exhale, drop one ear over towards one shoulder, and then inhale, coming right back to center, and then exhale, dropping the head to the other side. And continue to slowly move the head from side to side, coordinating the motion with your breath. You're welcome to close the eyes or gaze softly as you prefer. And now we'll begin to expand. So as the head moves from side to side, begin to sway the torso. And as you move to one side, pressing that hand into the floor. And gradually making these motions larger. And as the torso moves to one side, allowing the opposite hand to begin to lift away from the floor. And moving larger and larger as you bring the opposite arm overhead as you stretch from side to side. So moving at your own pace, exploring your own range of motion, keeping both hips level to the floor. And lengthen through both sides of the torso as you stretch from side to side. And now the next time you reach to whichever side you're heading towards, holding here. Keeping the chest lifted, shoulders relaxed, and circle the wrist and fingers overhead. Moving in one direction and then reversing. And now coming to stillness, perhaps stretching over a little bit deeper. Next, we'll add a rotation. So as you exhale, lowering the chest down towards the knee, and then as you inhale, lifting the chest and looking upward, rotating towards the sky. And continue to move back and forth with the breath, exhaling as you lower, and then inhaling as you lift. And moving once more. And releasing the movement the next time the chest is lifted, gazing upward, and now circling from the shoulder overhead. And now pause and reverse, and take your circles in the other direction. And circling that arm around once more, and then reaching overhead. If you like moving a little deeper, sliding the hand on the floor a little further away, perhaps even dropping down to the elbow, keeping the chest lifted and the head and neck stays in line with your spine. One more full breath here. Now pull the navel towards the spine and inhale slowly as you make your way back up to center. Exhale, relaxing both arms down by your sides. Pause here for a breath. Notice how one side of the torso feels in relation to the other. And now we'll balance it out, moving onto your other side. Inhaling as you bring the opposite arm overhead, and exhale, stretching over to this side. Sliding the hand on the floor a little further away, perhaps even dropping to the elbow. And circle the wrist and fingers overhead. And circle in the opposite direction. And letting that go, and we'll add the rotation here. Exhaling, lowering the chest down towards the knee, and then inhaling, rotating and lifting the chest skyward. Moving back and forth at the pace of your own breath. And once more. And holding the next time the chest is lifted. You could keep the elbow relaxed to create ease in the upper back and shoulder. And now circling from the shoulder overhead. And you can make these circles large or small as you like, allowing your body to guide you. Pause here and reverse, circling in the other direction. Now coming to hold the stretch, reaching the arm overhead, moving a little bit deeper if you like, or perhaps backing off if that would feel better. One more breath here, and now pull the navel towards the spine. Inhale as you slowly make your way back to center. Exhaling, gradually lowering the arm down by your side. And taking a few breaths here. Relax, receive. And next, bringing the hands in front of your feet, lifting up into a table position, or making your way in onto hands and knees in any way that works best for you. And bringing the hands right underneath the shoulders. And you have the option here to rest on the palms, on the fists, or perhaps dropping onto the elbows. See what feels best for you. And you can always move around between those positions if you're feeling any sensitivity in the wrists. You're on the palms, bring the wrists under the shoulders with the fingers spread wide, pressing into each fingertip and knuckle. Lengthen through the spine, extending the tailbone and the crown of the head away from one another. Broaden through the chest and move the shoulders down and away from the ears. Moving next into cat and dog stretches. On your next inhalation, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, open the chest, moving into dog. And as you exhale, draw the tailbone under, round the spine, move the chin towards the chest into cat. And moving back and forth with your breath, inhaling as you arch into dog and exhaling, rounding into cat. And now we'll add on the next time that you round the spine into cat, pause here, take a breath. And then exhale, lowering the bottom to the heels, forehead moves down towards the mat, coming briefly into child pose. And then inhaling, pressing right back up to table. And sending the hips forward as you lift the feet, bending, keeping the knees on the mat, opening the chest into a modified upward dog. Exhaling, moving back through table into child. Inhaling, lifting up, coming into modified upward dog. So continue to move back and forth with the breath. You're welcome to stay with cat and dog instead if that's what you prefer. And now the next time you find yourself in child, pausing here. Relaxing the arms, allowing the palms to face upward. Forehead moves towards the mat, or you're welcome to allow the head to hover or bring the forehead to a block if you've got one. On your next inhalation, pressing right back up to table. And now we'll move on to warming up the legs. So bringing the feet and knees hip width apart, extend your right leg back, bringing the ball of the foot to the mat and lifting the heel. And now begin to rock forward. Giving a stretch to the calf and back of the leg. And now holding here, pressing through the heel. And now on your next inhalation, lifting the leg. And now inhaling, drawing the knee in towards the chest, and then exhale, kicking the leg back behind you. If you like, you could draw that knee in towards the forehead or towards the chest. Inhale as you pull the knee in, and exhale as you extend the leg back, warming up the core and the leg here. And one more time. And now this time, pulling the knee in and stepping that foot forward and making your way into a low lunge. That knee in line with the ankle. Sliding the back knee a little bit closer towards the rear of your mat. Keeping the chest lifted and shoulders relaxed, resting on the fingertips or perhaps on blocks if you've got them. Now on your next inhalation, straightening that front leg a little or a lot. And then exhale, bending the knee again. And moving back and forth here. And finding your own range of motion. Loosening up the leg and the pelvis. Keep focusing on the breath and the sensations as you move. And the next time you find yourself in lunge, releasing this movement, stepping back to table. And now we'll move on to the opposite leg. Extending your left leg back, lifting the heel and resting on the ball of the foot. And again, rocking forward and back as you stretch out this leg. Remember to keep your chest lifted, shoulders relaxed, and your spine long. And now coming to hold, pressing out through the heel, breathing into the stretch. Notice the sensation. And on your next inhalation, lifting the leg. And now inhaling, pulling the knee in towards the chest or the forehead, and then exhale, kicking the leg back. So you can move quicker or slower here, finding your own pace. And you're always welcome to take a rest in child's at any time if that's what you need. And once more here. And now pulling the knee in and stepping that foot forward, making your way into a low lunge on this side. If you like, sliding the back knee a little closer towards the rear of your mat to deepen the stretch in that thigh. Front knee is bent in line with your ankle, keeping your chest lifted and being careful not to round through the spine. So keeping your spine long as you inhale, straightening that front leg, lifting the toes. And it's fine if that leg only wants to straighten a little bit. You might find that it feels a little bit looser as you keep moving. And moving in both directions once more. Coming back to the low lunge and then stepping back to table. From table, we'll prepare for a downward facing dog. So bringing the wrists under the shoulders with the fingers spread wide. And if you're feeling that the wrists are tender, you could come into a variation of downward dog, coming onto the elbows instead. Now, lifting the tailbone, coming onto the balls of the feet, draw a breath in, and then as you exhale, sending the hips up high as you straighten your legs. And now pedaling out the feet, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel into the mat and alternating. And now bending both knees. Extend the tailbone up and back towards where the ceiling and wall meet behind you. Move the shoulders down the back and aim the crown of the head towards the space between your hands. And if you like, extending the heels towards the mat, and it's fine if they don't reach. Breathe. And now soften the knees and walk the feet towards your hands, coming to hang in a forward fold, relaxing the crown of the head. Legs could be straight, or you could keep a soft or deeper bend in the knees. Hands come to shins. Inhale, lift halfway so the spine is parallel to the earth. Exhale, soften and fold forward. And now bring the hands to hips, press into the feet, navel to spine. Inhale as you slowly hinge all the way up to standing, taking your time. Releasing the arms to your sides. And as you inhale, bringing the arms up and overhead. And exhale, lower the hands down to prayer position in front of the heart. Close the eyes or gaze softly. Taking a few deep breaths here to allow yourself to adjust to standing upright. Noticing those sensations in the body. Being aware of what you're feeling in this moment with compassion and curiosity. And now releasing the arms by your sides. Standing tall with the feet hips width apart. Relaxing the shoulders and bringing the hands to the hips. We'll move now into a side stretch. So stepping your right foot behind the left. And just taking a moment to steady yourself. And if you're feeling very wobbly with the feet crossed, it's fine to keep the feet side by side. Lengthen evenly through the abdomen and the lower back. Relax the shoulders and lengthen through the crown of the head. And now release your right arm and inhale as you bring your right arm out to the side and overhead and stretching over to your left. Pressing the right hip slightly out to the side and forward. And stretching only as far as would feel good, avoiding any strain or discomfort. You're welcome to keep your left hand on your hip, or if you like, you could reach up and take hold of the wrist with your hands. See what feels good. Keep the chest lifted, head and neck in line with the spine. Move to your fullest extension for another breath. And now press into the feet, navel to spine. Inhale as you slowly hinge back up to center. Arms overhead, step the feet together. Exhale, slowly lower the arms down by your sides. Pause at shoulder height to turn the palms to face the floor. Gradually releasing the arms. And before moving to the other side, clasp the hands together behind the back, straightening the arms, pressing the knuckles down towards the floor, and then pressing the hands away from you, giving an opening through the chest as you stretch the shoulders and arms. Breathe. And exhaling, release the arms. And we'll prepare for the standing side stretch on the other side. Standing tall, hands on the hips, relax the shoulders. Now step your left foot behind your right. Plant the feet. Lengthen evenly through the abdomen and the lower back. Keep the chest lifted and relax the shoulders. Inhale, left arm up to the side and overhead. And again, stretching only as far as feels right for you. And you're welcome to keep the right hand on the hip or take hold of the wrist overhead. And press your left hip out to the side and slightly forward. Keep lengthening through the torso, lift the chest and relax the shoulders. Breathe. And you could always go a little bit deeper, back off, or take a rest from the pose by slowly releasing. And move to your fullest expression for another breath if you like. And now press into the feet, navel to spine. Inhale, slowly making your way back to center. Stepping the feet next to each other. Release the arms overhead, reaching long through the fingertips and slowly lowering the arms down. Taking your time. And after you've released the arms, once again, interlacing the fingers behind you, straightening the arms and pressing the hands away from you, opening through the chest, stretching the arms. Breathe. And exhaling, slowly releasing the arms. Give a little shake to one leg and then the other. Next, we'll move into a balance. We'll ease our way into crane. So we'll begin balancing first on the left leg. So we'll start off by standing in a tall mountain pose, grounding through the feet, engaging the legs, lengthening through the abdomen and the lower back. Broaden through the chest, relax the shoulders, lengthen through the head and the neck. Now begin to shift your weight onto your left leg. And as you shift your weight into the left leg, pressing evenly through the inside and the outside of the left foot, keeping that leg strong, and lifting the right heel, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Finding a focal point to steady your attention, gazing at a single point that isn't moving. And then as you're ready, lifting your right knee off the floor and extending the arms to the side and coming into crane. Keeping the shoulders, elbows, and wrists slightly bent and soft. Breathe. And exhaling, slowly lowering the foot down, release the arms. Before moving to the other side, we'll move into a standing squat. So bending into the knees, extending the arms in front of you. And then inhaling, releasing the arms, straightening the legs, shifting your weight now into your right leg. Strengthening the leg, coming onto the ball of your left foot and lifting the heel. You can always stay here or come back to this version. As you're ready, if you like, you can lift the left knee so it's in line with the hip, extending the arms, soft joints. Standing leg is strong without locking the right knee. Breathe. Exhale, slowly lower down, moving into the squat again. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And we'll flow back and forth. So now shift your weight into the left leg, moving into crane on this side. Exhale, plant the feet, move into your squat. Inhale, rise up into crane on the other side. So moving back and forth between these poses once more at your own pace. And if you've got a little bit of a dancing crane going, or if you're wobbling, that's just fine. And the next time that you move into the squat, releasing these movements by standing up tall, relaxing the arms. Take a breath or two here to receive. And we'll add on to our standing pose flow. So coming to stand either in the front of your mat or moving over to one side so that you'll have room to step the leg out behind you. Begin by standing tall, relaxing the shoulders. And now bending into the knees, lifting the arms to shoulder height, moving into your standing squat once again. And then inhaling, shifting your weight into the left leg, lifting the right knee as you come into crane. And from crane, we'll prepare to step back into warrior. Exhaling, stepping your right leg back, bending deeply into your left knee and lifting the arms. Keeping the back heel lifted and square the hips forward. Feel free to adjust your stance, bringing the back foot either closer in or closer to the back of your mat as you prefer. Square the hips forward, tailbone reaching down, drawing the thighs towards one another for stability. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the head and the neck. And arms could be shoulder width apart or closer together or wider. See what feels right for you. Keep breathing. And now opening the arms into a T position at shoulder height. And now we'll prepare to twist towards the front knee. Exhaling, twisting the spine towards your left knee, going only as far as feels good. A little bit is fine. And then inhaling, unwinding, coming back to center. Breathe. And on your next exhalation, we'll open up into warrior two. So now twisting the torso in the other direction and planting your right heel on the mat. Lowering the hands to the hips to give the arms a little bit of a break here. So again, adjusting your stance, you could walk the feet wider apart or closer together. Closer together will give you more stability. Wider apart will give you a deeper stretch. Bending the front knee in line with the ankle. And now squaring the hips to the long edge of your mat. And bring the hands to the rib cage, giving yourself a little assist so that the rib cage and the shoulders are directly above the hips, facing that long edge of the mat. And then extending the arms to T position at shoulder height, reaching along through the fingertips. And then turning the head to look past the fingers of your left hand, breathing into warrior two pose. Keep pressing into the feet, drawing the thighs towards one another. Lengthen through the tailbone. Now turning the left palm to face up. And as you inhale, straightening both legs, right hand reaches down the right leg. Reach the torso towards the rear of your mat into reverse triangle. Press into the feet. Inhale, slowly lifting back up. Bending the knee, return to warrior two. From warrior two, we'll make our way into side angle pose. Lowering the left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm reaches overhead. Feel a long line of energy here from the right heel up through the right hip, shoulder out through the crown of the head. Lifting the chest upward, head and neck in line with the spine. You could stay here or explore any variations, perhaps draping the right arm behind the back. You can lower the left hand to the mat or block, or perhaps coming into a bind. Keep the breath flowing. And releasing any variations now, arm reaches overhead. Press into the feet, inhaling, lifting up to warrior two again. And now straightening both legs, turning the toes and knees to face forward into a five-pointed star. And now bringing the hands to your hips. Before repeating on the other side, we'll move into a forward fold. Press into the feet and then exhale, hinge from the hip, coming forward just halfway until the spine is parallel to the earth. Lengthen through the head, extending the head and the tailbone away from one another. Spine is long. Breathe. Now press into the feet. Inhale, slowly hinge up to standing. Heel toe the feet closer together. And give a little shake to one leg and then the other. And we'll prepare to repeat the sequence on the other side. So coming to the front of your mat. We'll prepare to move into these poses on the side. So we'll start with the squat, we'll move into crane, and then we'll be stepping back on the left leg for warrior one. So standing tall in mountain pose to begin. Relax the shoulders. And now bending into the knees, extend the arms at shoulder height, coming into your squat. And now shifting your weight into the right leg as you lift up into crane. Breathe, relax the shoulders, keep the joints soft. And now exhaling, stepping that left foot back into warrior one. So be sure that the feet are still hips width apart, the back heel is lifted, and that left leg is active. Hips are squared forward, draw the tailbone down, press the thighs towards one another, creating stability. Feel free to adjust, making your stance shorter or wider as you like. And now extend the arms into T position at shoulder height. And exhale, twisting towards the front bent knee. A little or a lot, whatever feels good, avoiding any strain. And then inhale, slowly unwinding. And then exhale, rotating the torso in the other direction and opening up now into warrior two. You could keep the arms lifted or give the arms a break by bringing the hands to the hips. So your left foot is at a 45-degree angle. The right knee is at 90 degrees. Press into the feet. Feel free to adjust the stance, making it wider or shorter. Draw the thighs towards one another as you draw the tailbone down. Squaring the shoulders and the hips in line with the front of the long edge of your mat. As you're ready, raising the arms and turning the head to look over the right shoulder. Keep lengthening through the head and the neck. Keep breathing. And now turning your right palm to face upward. Left hand slides down the left leg, straightening the right leg, reaching over. Coming into reverse triangle. Inhale, lifting back up, bending the knee, warrior two. And holding warrior two for a moment, and then we'll prepare for side angle. Exhaling, bringing the right forearm to your right thigh, lifting your left arm overhead or coming into any variations. Again, keep pressing into the feet, feeling that long line of energy through the left heel, up through the hips, shoulders, crown of the head. Feel free to explore any variations. And releasing any variations, bringing the arm overhead once again. Press into the feet. Inhale, lifting back to warrior two. Straighten both legs, turning the toes and knees to face forward into a 5-pointed star. We'll move once again to upward fold, and this time I'll give you the option to add spinal twist. Lowering the hands to your hips, press into the feet, and exhale, hinge forward, coming halfway so the spine is parallel to the floor, lengthening through the tailbone and the crown of the head. And now releasing your left hand down, coming onto the fingertips. Left hand is in line with the center of the chest. You can bring the hand to a block if you've got one. Right hand is on the right hip. Lengthen your spine and then exhale, rotating towards your right side. Keeping the spine long. You could keep the hand on the hip to support the lower back, or you can extend that arm up to the ceiling. Keep breathing. And now exhaling, return the hand to the hip. If you raise the arm, turn the torso back to center. Lengthen the spine and now switching hands. So bringing the right hand in line with the center of the chest to the mat or to a block. Exhaling, rotating towards your left side. Hand on hip or arm extended. Whatever feels right. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. One more full breath here. And now bringing the hand to the hip. If it's not already there, exhaling, unwinding. And lowering both hands to the mat. And now heel toe the feet closer together and then bend one knee at a time so that you can lower yourself down into a table position. And from table, we'll move into puppy. So keeping the hips lifted above the knees and slide the arms forward, lowering the forehead or chest towards the mat. You may wish to rest the forehead on the mat or on a block, or you could allow the head to hover. One more full breath here. And then on your next inhalation, lifting yourself back into table. And then from table, swinging the legs around, coming to a seated position. And giving the legs a little shake. From here, we will make our way onto our backs to move into bridge pose. So bending the knees, bringing the feet to the mat, and then rolling your way down onto your back. Taking your time and allowing yourself to get settled on your back. And walking the feet as close to the bottom as is comfortable. Feet and knees are hip width apart. Resting the arms by your sides, palms to the mat. See if you could bring a little bit more of the upper back and shoulders in contact with the floor, gently opening the chest and tucking the chin in very slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. And we'll ease our way into bridge. So on your next inhalation, lift the hips an inch or so away from the mat, and then exhale, lower the hips back down. And again, inhaling, lifting the hips perhaps a little bit higher, and then exhale, lowering back down. And continue to lift and lower, moving with the breath. You may wish to close your eyes here or keep a very soft gaze. And you're welcome to stay here with the lifting and lowering, gradually building strength and flexibility. Or perhaps you'd like to come to hold bridge.
And that might just be a few inches off the floor. It might be bringing the hips in line with the shoulders and the knees, or perhaps lifting the hips higher still. See what feels good for you without strain. And if it's accessible to you, you have the option to interlace the hands together behind the back, straightening the arms and wiggling one shoulder blade at a time underneath you. So choose the variation of bridge that feels comfortable for you, where you could hold without strain. Finding the version that allows you to feel a comfortable opening through the chest and torso and allows you to breathe freely. And you could continue to hold, or you could slowly release and lower down at any time. And if you like holding for one more full breath, and preparing to gradually release. So if you clasp the hands together, release the hands, returning one shoulder blade at a time to the mat, and very slowly lowering through the upper back, through the middle back, and gradually releasing the hips to the earth. Keeping the feet hips width apart, bring the knees together to touch, allowing the legs to relax. A few deep breaths here to receive these sensations of release, receiving the energy of bridge pose. And now walk the feet about as wide apart as the mat, extending the arms to T position at shoulder height, palms facing upward. Slowly begin to drop the knees from side to side. Exhaling as you lower the knees to one side, head turns in the opposite direction. Inhale, bringing the head and knees back to center, and then exhale, moving to the other side. Moving slowly at the pace of your own breath. Turning the head in the opposite direction of the knees to bring the twist up into the head and neck. And the next time the knees drop over to one side, head turns in the opposite direction and hold here. Relax the shoulders into the mat. Keep breathing. On your next inhalation, slowly bring the head and the knees back to center, and then exhale, dropping to the other side. On your next inhalation, slowly release, coming back to center. Bringing the feet and knees hips width apart, arms by your sides. Lifting the right foot and draw the right knee into your chest for Pavana Muktasana, wind relieving pose. So hugging the right knee into the chest, keeping both shoulders and the head on the mat. You're welcome to keep that left knee bent, or you could straighten the left leg along the floor as you prefer. Keep breathing deeply in and out through the nose as you hug the right knee in towards the chest. And on each inhalation, feel the belly expand and press towards the thigh. And as you exhale, Pressing the right knee a little bit closer in towards the chest. Keep breathing deeply and continue to pull the knee in a little bit closer on each exhalation. One more full breath here. And now bringing the hands to the back of the right thigh, straightening the right leg in the air. Flex and point the foot. Circle at the ankle. Circle in the other direction. And now bring the foot to stillness. Flexing through the foot. Release the arms by your sides, palms to the floor. Now beginning on your next exhalation and taking several breaths very slowly and gradually. Lower the right leg down to the mat. Take your time. And after you release the leg, allow both legs to relax. Notice here how one leg feels in comparison to the other. Perhaps one side feels longer. And now give the legs a little shake. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat. Again, ground the shoulders down, the chin in slightly, lengthen through the back of the neck. Bend the left knee in towards the chest, holding onto the shin or the knee with both hands. And you could choose to keep the right knee bent and the foot on the floor, or you have the option to straighten the leg along the mat. And hug the left knee close into the chest, allowing the belly to expand on each inhalation, pressing towards the thigh. And as you exhale, hug the left knee a little bit closer, giving a massage to the digestive organs. Keep breathing deeply in and out through the nose. One more full breath here. And now bringing the hands to the back of the left thigh, straightening the leg up in the air, flex and point the foot. Circle at the ankle, moving in one direction and then reverse. Bringing the foot the foot up in the air. Release the arms by your sides, palms to mat. On your next exhalation, slowly begin to lower the leg down, keeping the leg long, the left foot is flexed. Taking your time and taking several breaths, noticing all the sensations along the way. After you release the leg, again, noticing the sensations of release. Noticing how one side of the body feels in relation to the other. Give the legs a shake. And now hug both knees in towards the chest. And you can hold here in stillness, or you could circle on the sacrum or rock from side to side. If you like, you're welcome to explore any other final stretch or movement before we come into our final relaxation, Shavasana. Once you're ready, setting yourself up for Shavasana. If you'd like, you're welcome to put on socks or any extra layers as your body begins to cool down. You're welcome to keep the knees bent if that feels better on the back. Or you could extend the legs long, perhaps placing a cushion underneath the knees if you have one available. Again, bring a little bit more of the upper back and shoulders in contact with the mat. Tuck the chin in slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. Arms may either rest by the sides with the palms facing upward, or you could bring the hands to rest on top of your belly. See what feels right for you. Allowing the eyes to close. Resting comfortably on the back. And let go of any breathing pattern and invite the breath to flow naturally and effortlessly. Continue to lie in stillness as I guide you through a brief body scan. Bringing your attention to the crown of the head, down through the face and the back of the head, the neck. Soften through the upper chest, upper back. Soften through the rib cage, the front, back, and sides of the rib cage. Soften through the belly and the lower back. Relax the shoulders, down the arms, through the hands and the tips of the fingers. Soften through the pelvis, down through the legs, down to the tips of the toes. Allow your entire body to soften, relax, and release. Resting completely. Allowing yourself to
integrate the benefits of your practice. Very gradually begin to deepen your breathing, making some small movements with the fingers and the toes. Inviting awareness and sensation to return. As you're ready, bending the knees one at a time and drawing both knees in towards the chest. And then rolling over onto your right side, coming to rest in a fetal position. And taking a moment here to acknowledge your efforts and dedication. As you're ready, pressing the hands into the mat and gently and mindfully making your way back upright to a comfortable seated position. Sitting tall with the eyes remaining closed. And take a moment to notice here how you are feeling in your body, mind, and breath. How are you feeling now compared to when you arrived? And now bringing the hands to prayer position in front of the heart, dropping the chin towards the chest, coming into a gesture of gratitude. And bringing to mind something or someone you are grateful for. Noticing how it feels in the body and mind when you direct your thoughts towards gratitude. And I invite you to carry the spirit of gratitude with you into your day. Om Shanti, peace. May the peace in our hearts bring peace into the world. Softly allow the eyes to open, lifting the gaze. Namaste. I honor the light in you.